Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. We're not going to speak on it. Just going to get into the episode. And that's what we're going to do because it's a Friday. Shut up, JC.
Yeah.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love for another edition of the Morning Breeze. On today's show, even though we did our mock yesterday, nice mock. We got to talk about what a Trey Hendrickson to the Bears trade realistically could look like. And then, how do we actually make the contract work for Trey Hendrickson? There's a lot of pieces we still got to get in here, a lot of holes you got to fix. Can you make it work? Are you going to have the money to do it? That's the real question here.
That is the real question.
There's a lot to get into on this topic, dog. But at the end of the day, get me Trey Hendrickson.
That's all I want.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, dog. You find a way to get me Trey Hendrickson. We figure out the details later. The date is 3/7/2025. 7:15 in the morning.
No.
Jordan JC, I got to tell you.
What happened?
That second kid, he's kicking my butt.
Oh. It wasn't me this time, Chad.
Oh, no.
That's right.
I could have blamed you, though.
I was up.
They would have believed me. Because I'm the star of the show, contrary to popular belief.
Shut your mouth. Well, we get the running back in the first
I'm the Barry Gordy edition. Oh, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. JC, how you feeling this morning, my guy? You good?
Oh, feeling pretty meaty, man. First of all, I feel really good because, contrary to popular belief, Pat was the one that was in control of pressing the buttons and making the picks yesterday. He picked Omarion Hampton.
Oh, you son of
He picked Omarion Hampton.
You know I wouldn't have picked him.
Don't let him fool you into thinking we picked him. He picked him.
You bastard.
I feel
you
great.
bastard.
I feel great. It's going to happen. I'm telling you. It's going to happen. And you're going to get Matt Forte 2.0, and you're going to be happy about it. That's all I'm saying.
I don't want to.
I don't know what to tell you. We're addressing the line as we speak. I don't know what to tell you. We're getting a running back.
I don't want. I mean, I'm fine with getting a running back. The problem with yesterday's draft was we were down into the third round, still looking at impact running backs. I'm like, oh, look at that, he's still here.
Yeah. Travion was still on the board. I will admit.
Travion Hendrickson. Oh, look at that, just a dominant rusher. Look at him down here.
Whatever, man. I'm just telling you.
Sick of it.
Get happy.
Man, listen, at the end of the day, I can sit here and feel one way about a topic, and you know, I think that I do stand on the side of kind of where the NFL is at versus kind of where fans and stuff like that are at. But at the end of the day, if you give me a dominant player, I'm not gonna be upset about it. I will be the one guy sitting here in 4 years when it's time to give him an extension, and the people are like, you got to give him $600 million for 50 years. And I'm like, draft the new one. I will be that guy.
This guy, you and your 4-year rule for running backs, Jesus, man.
I mean,
Omarion's going to be special. He's going to outrun his contract. That's what he's going to do.
Oh boy, as always, everybody's got their guy. Let's talk about this though, because I do think this is very interesting when it comes to. And I know I'm not looking at the camera. I'm making the thumbnail for the video. It was a rush job.
This guy is a perfectionist.
It was a rush job. Come on now. No, I want to have this conversation because The Athletic put out an article about kind of what it would cost for Trey Hendrickson, and I think what's interesting is that what we did yesterday in the trade nets us more draft capital, which I do like later on in the draft. And I think that it's probably a deal that could get done. But, and I think a lot of people will be surprised about, well, maybe not surprised, but The Athletic brings out what compensation could look like for Trey Hendrickson. And it says, if you look at recent edge rusher trades, it's clear a first-round pick is unlikely.
Oh,
despite the production, Hendrickson's age and the cost of extension take it off the table. Precedent from these deals suggests a second-round pick and change could be the likely landing point. Now, some of the names that come up in trades like this, and I think there's one that kind of does fit this situation almost perfectly, but not apples to apples. Matthew Judon at age 32 got traded for third-round compensation.
Okay. All right.
To Atlanta. Hassan Reddick, not the same dude, very good pass rusher, got traded for a third-round pick in 2026. 29 years old.
All right, I'm intrigued.
Brian Burns, 25 years old, got traded for a second and a fifth.
What?
To the New York Giants. Remember that?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Got traded for a second and a fifth to the New York Giants. Brian Burns.
Wow.
Now you're getting into that conversation of all right, that's a pretty good pass rusher right there. Khalil Mack at age 31 when the Bears traded him, got traded for a second and a sixth to the Los Angeles Chargers. And then they've got some different ones that went down at the trade deadline. Montez Sweat is somebody who only went for a second, not the same level of pass rusher at all. Robert Quinn they have on here went for a fourth. Von Miller at age 32 went for a second and a third from Denver to LA. Von Miller was still pretty dominant, but first round compensation, not really the expectation here, my guy. But I think that you do have, and with the Bears having 2 second-round picks, I think it does make sense. I think where you do have to ask the question on kind of what we did yesterday, where we traded back into the draft. We got Trey Hendrickson, we got 17, we got 81. Is this a draft where, yes, you're moving back in the first round just to give them the 10 for 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're also gaining an extra third round pick in a draft. And this is how we did it in our mock draft yesterday.
Yeah,
you also gave them a third round pick in a draft that is loaded with talent. So which scenario would you actually rather have? Would you rather do, right, kind of the Brian Burns conversation, a second and a fifth for Trey Hendrickson, where you've still got the 10th overall pick? You're still, 10th overall pick, guys, you could be talking about Trey Hendrickson standing next to Mason Graham. I'm tingly. It could be the late night White Castles that my wife decided to order.
Oh my God!
Wow, the legs really? Tingle.
Is that what's getting you going?
Yeah, that's what got me up.
Little gas, man. All right.
Could be the late night White Castle, but I think it's the obvious situation of what could be built there.
Well, I am craving a Hendrickson Mason Graham line. I will tell you that. I'm not going to lie. The fact that you mentioned the Brian Burns trade, that's what really kind of gets me going, is because I had no idea. I didn't remember that it only took a second and a fifth for him. And you're talking about somebody that is going into his prime. You know, the Trey Hendrickson has already hit the big 3-0. And so even though he has put up, 35 sacks in the last 2 years, my God, As I told you before, the
Yeah.
possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
This time around, we're probably stomach going PFF. What is
Fifth?
That's
No,
actually
oddly
hilarious.
enough, White Castle
Stomach
doesn't
going
affect me
PFF.
badly. Could be the combination. I do mozzarella sticks with the sliders.
Oh my
and it
God!
makes it makes it normal.
Yeah, that's
Makes
a
it
little too
normal.
much.
Keeps it
That's
solid. Yeah, I
Jesus.
mean it's a binder.
Your stomach is a still tank if you get through all that. Jesus,
Really?
man.
Pterodactyl Pop's waiting. Did Roz come back? A little bit. He was doing good. And
Oh
then,
yeah, I did. Yeah.
the voice started to die there halfway through. Always
hold on.
watching, Rizowski.
Whatever. I don't care.
Always watching.
But you know what? I think that what it would take, in my opinion, is I would go the route of kind of what Joel said yesterday. Maybe take one of those second round picks, maybe your 41st. And I saw somebody put it in the chat. I think it was Leroy Pinkston who said a second and a maybe a fifth rounder from next year or this year.
Now,
and so
go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
No, that would be the gist of it. If we can replicate or replicate the Brian Burns chain, the Brian Burns trade, then I would be fine with that. That's what we're gonna do.
We gotta get Joel to do a word of the day on that.
Replicate, baby.
We gotta find a segment for Joel too. Everybody else got a segment. We need Joel's segment.
Yeah, we gotta get a GM segment.
We gotta get a Joel's bald takes or something like that.
Hey, that actually is pretty good. Play on words. Bald takes.
Joel's bald takes instead of the word bold. Oh, Joel.
I like that.
We got a segment for you.
I like that.
Joel's bald takes. We got JC's dark horse picks. Yesterday was a great one. This young man nobody knows about.
Nobody knows.
Jahad Campbell. People are saying he's flying up the draft boards, man.
No, is that what they're saying? I don't see it.
Could be first round title. You don't see it. You don't see it.
I don't see it.
Here's what the Athletic, because they did throw some trade offers out there. Here's what the Athletic says Chicago Bears should offer. 41. The Bears have a major need of defensive end, and the GM who's already made 2 trades this week. The cap space necessary for an extension and the connection to Hendrickson. And I think people forget this. And defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. Remember, Trey Hendrickson was a Saint for 4 years.
Oh.
And people forget like how big that trade was. Like, oh snap! After he had his first, I believe it was 17 and a half sack season, the Saints were like, well, we're cash strapped and we don't know if you can do it again. And then he did it 2 more times. Now this can go a few different directions. They say Allen was the Saints coordinator when they drafted Hendrickson in 2017. He was in the same post when Hendrickson left via free agency. We don't know how much that potential reunion matters, but we do know that the Bears haven't been afraid to use trade market to fill premium positions. A Hendrickson-Montez Sweat pairing at edge rusher would be formidable after the acquisition, got to watch yourself around here, of guards Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson. A new deal for Hendrickson could be too much for a team that still has other needs, but it's still worth the conversation. And I think that's the conversation that you got to have, right? If you make the trade, can you get the contract done? Is it worth getting the contract done? When we talked about it a little bit yesterday, JC, like there's a lot of edge rushers in this draft. There's a lot of opportunity for you to build through the draft in this draft.
Well, because of the fact that we addressed, with Joe Thuney and getting Jonah Jackson, I feel like you have a little bit more leeway to go that route. Like I said, the possibilities are there for you to, switch it up and do it and go for edge rusher in the draft. You got your Mike Greens, you got your interior would be Tyleek Williams, you got your McHale's, your James Pierce's, Nick Scordon's, all those guys. It's a deep draft for edge rushers as well. And so there's a lot of routes to take. So the question is, do you go for experience or are you going for the project that's clearly going to be cheaper and maybe on par with the youth of this team? For me, I say you get both. Hey, you heard me say it yesterday. Best of both worlds, baby. I say you get Trey Hendrickson, and then you double down and you get an edge rusher, whether it's in the second round or the third.
Yeah.
That's the route I would take.
I think the interesting part is, right, what are you going to have to pay Hendrickson? That's the part where this gets tough. I mean, at 30 years old, am I saying that we're going to give him top contract?
Giving him, what, 18 to 20?
18 to 20. My boy's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
I was being nice. That was just
you got to be talking at least 10 more million.
Oh, man.
You're talking about 30 million.
Jesus.
Kind of where the 30 million is the low ball number, I would assume, where we're talking here. But right now, with the moves that the Bears have made, you've kind of got 47 million left on the books. After adding Tooney, after adding Jonah Jackson, right? And guys, we took all the money. I want to make sure that people know this. Because Muzz been sitting there. No, I've heard that we only took $4 million of the deal. No, I don't know who told you this. Tell your cousin Vinny to shut up. We took the money. We have to pay him the money. Well, actually, no. This is what is being reported by the people whose job it is to report these things. I know we live in a world where nobody trusts what the media is saying.
Right.
Contract negotiations for players is a little bit different. They actually have to put their terms on the table.
Yeah.
But kind of where we sit right now is we are at about 47 million. This is just off of me doing quick calculation.
Little bit to play
around
with.
47 million. If you take off that 30 million, of course, you're at about 17 million left. The 30 million you would have to pay Trey Hendrickson. Now, you can get creative with contracts. If you wanted to, you could always backload a contract. Say, 30 years old, you give him a 3 to 4 year deal. You backload a little bit of a contract for Trey Hendrickson. If he's willing to accept that once he's in the building, you find kind of the terms that work for both of you, or you can turn some of it into a signing bonus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there are ways to get creative there.
I like that, Chuck.
$5 super chat. I'm not mad at that. Give me Hendrickson and draft Landon Jackson in the second.
That's right. Yeah. Best of both worlds, like I said. I don't mind the backloading of a contract. That way you can maybe you tingle them up with front loading it with stakes. Front loaded with stakes.
Front loading it with stakes. You know, I saw you knock down. Oh, we're gonna release the pictures one day. I saw you knock down 3 different kinds of meat yesterday. So you're big on front loading it with stakes.
You just couldn't help yourself.
3 different kinds of meat. I love that he ordered
teriyaki chicken.
No, that's the thing. He ordered steak and shrimp, and it was like, oh, let me get the bigger plate and add some chicken. I was like, what are you trying to have a well-rounded meat diet here?
She thought I was done. I said, hey, you owe me another meat over there. What are we doing?
Hey,
close that box up a little too quickly.
Oh, Relentless Mikey, there he is. Oh, my.
Whatever, man. You guys, whatever.
But I mean, listen, if you're having a conversation, right? Trey, 3 years, 90 million. Listen, it's getting expensive. You got 17 million to still build your team with, but
absolutely,
and this is the big but. Remember, the big but.
Hey, yo, talk about backload.
I'm a child. This is the conversations that we were having about. Is it worth it to keep certain players versus adding certain players? Right? Like, I know where we can find $10 million. Bears fans ain't gonna like it. But I know where we can find $10 million. I know where I can add an extra 4.
Uh-oh.
Right? Like that is the option to the Bears. There's a real situation here where you can create the type of money you need, but you're going to have to move on from some pieces that a lot of people think are keys to being successful. But realistically speaking, star talent versus the glue guy on an offensive system. Like, I think those are the conversations that you have to have with the contract, right? Because if we added Trey Hendrickson, I can guarantee you one thing: Cole Kmet is probably saying goodbye.
I don't have a problem with that. Well, we just did a mock draft the other day where you picked up a Terrence Ferguson.
You got dang right I did.
And we just got Drew. Well, we're looking at Drew Smythe. So, I mean, you can rebuild that tight end room very quickly. And like for me, it outweighs the positive outweighs the negative in that sense. Like if you were to go that route and you shored up some more money by letting go of a Cole Kmet, I mean, thank you for your services. Cole Kmet to me hasn't been that, and I want to make sure I choose my words wisely because I do love Cole Kmet. Love everything he stands for, love everything he's about. Local kid as well, right? Just like Jack. But the production has been mediocre at best. I shouldn't even say mediocre. The production has been average or a little above average at best. You know, Cole Kmet has always been a good tight end overall, but he's somebody that can be replaceable in this type of system and on this team. He's nobody that you can say, oh well, he had a George Kittle year, or he had a Mark Andrews year, or you know, obviously a Travis Kelce year. No, he's never been that one of the top tight ends. And so, sure, you want to free up some people. Hey, Tyler, well, I don't know about Tyler Warren there, Amstel. You're definitely going to have to pick him at 10 if you want Tyler Warren. But Terrence Ferguson, you know, some other good names. Cole Loveland, you have Arroyo from Miami. Like there's other names you can actually get that might be on par as far as with talent. So yeah, like you said, you may not like some of the names that may have to be left off of this roster, but if you want to get some of the best names like Trey, who has been dominating when it comes to sacking the quarterback the last 2 years and overall the last 5 years of his career, that's what you have to do. You have to sacrifice, you know, some of your names on this team.
Yeah, and listen, that's what it comes down to, and it's about are you willing to do it. I like first off, shout out Papa Do That, and I think this fits
Papa Do That Dad.
Papa Do That Dad, Papa Do That Dad. I think this fits the conversation on Trey as well. Picking up Tooney as a gamble, a dude who is 32, 4-time Super Bowl champ, Pro Bowler, etc. Y'all think he's chasing a bag at this point? I don't know if he's chasing a bag. I think that he is. You know, he came into a situation that he wasn't expecting to come in, but one where, you know, he'll be yet again the leader of an offensive line. He'll be one of the top names on there. He'll be very important to what the Bears want to do here. And you're going to have to make some contracts work. But when you're talking about paying Joe Tooney over the next 2 years, you're probably talking about a $40 million deal for 2 years. When you're talking about paying Trey Hendrickson, you're probably talking about a $30 million per, depending on how you load it, but an average of $30 million over the next 3 to 4 years. And you have to find ways to create more cap space. This is where the GM conversation comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said it perfectly about Cole Kmet. You know what I mean? Listen, Cole Kmet's a good tight end. I'm not going to say that he's a great tight end. But he is a receiving tight end that can't block. He's a terrible blocker. You say what you want. He's a terrible blocker.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't break 1,000 yards receiving.
Not even
now,
close.
whether it is because the previous regime has screwed him over, I do believe that. Whether it is because other people haven't gotten him the football, he can't be that 1,000-yard. I agree with all of that. And maybe this is the unlock move that you have to see. But remember, there was a tight end there before Laporta. And they were very okay moving on. Oh, no, I'm tweaking. Not Laporta. I'm thinking of Hockenson and
Hockenson in Detroit.
Hockenson?
Yeah, Hockenson was in Detroit, and
right?
they moved on. He went to Minnesota for Laporta.
That's what I so I was right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was like, oh no, he's in Minnesota. My brain tweaked.
Same division, yeah. You probably
think about Hockenson.
Yeah.
Hockenson needed to get paid. Hockenson felt like, oh, this is the guy you gotta have. Hockenson now plays for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Did it stop him? I'm not telling you that it is the perfect situation, but you need to create cap space. and you're going to have to move on from people to do it. And
And
again,
to,
go ahead.
no, to address what Piper just said, he says he's not cutting Komet. What's with the hate? It's not hate. This is big boy decision making. And we're at the point now in this organization where you have, if you want to spend the money, and what we said before, spend the money. We have the money, spend the money. So if you want to get a Trey Hendrickson in here and you want to still shore up some space to address other areas, those are the hard decisions you have to make. I have no hate in my heart for Cole Kmet, but I understand there's an addition and a subtraction that you may have to make for it to work and for it to continue to improve this team. You have other means to address tight end. And so again, would you want one of the obviously the best pass rusher sack wise? Yeah, I told you he's a sack getter now. He's a sack getter yesterday. He's the best sack getter in the last 2 years. Do you want that guy? Or do you want to keep Cole Kmet and go for somebody like maybe a Josh Sweat, somebody who's on par with Montez? I want the best of the best. I don't want just good enough. We've been saying that forever. And so that's where the sacrifice comes in. I'm pretty sure if we get Trey Hendrickson on this team and you replace Cole Kmet with a Drew Smythe or one of these guys in the draft, you're not going to bat an eye when they start winning 10 to 11 games because their defense is dominant and the offense has clicked under Ben Johnson.
And I think that's the thing, right? Like it's not, first off, just because sometimes we speak of things cut and dry don't mean we hate a player. I love Cole.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. It probably also means you're getting rid of Jaquan Brisker in the long term, right? Not this season. He's not up, but it probably also means you're getting rid of Jaquan Brisker. I love Jaquan Brisker.
Ooh, now that one's going to hurt my heart.
It's going to hurt. There's going to be people that you get rid of that is going to hurt.
Yeah.
But you know what? You shouldn't have had some of those guys in the first place because you were focusing on the wrong positions.
Yeah, to start. Yeah.
You finally decide to address the trenches. It's going to cost you pieces elsewhere. And I'm going to tell you this right now. We were down to about $17 million after paying Trey Hendrickson $30 million per, right? You cut Cole Kmet, you get yourself $27 million. You cut Ryan Bates, who I don't get why he's still on my team. He's pissing me off. You get an extra $4 million. That's $31 million. Guess what? Now we can pay people.
Mm.
And now I have a team that has Joe Thuney, Jonah Jackson. I'm still not sold on Jonah Jackson. I ain't gonna lie. I'm there with y'all on that, and I'm still not sold yet. But now you have a team that has Joe Thuney, Jonah Jackson. You still can pay Drew Dahlman. Everybody, how you gonna pay Dahlman? You still can pay Drew Dahlman because Dahlman's gonna cost you around 15. But we're spending so much in the trenches. That's where you're supposed to spend money. Yeah.
Relax. Relax.
Pro Bowls, bro. I love that everybody after I did that was just like, wait a minute, Pat, I thought you didn't want Pro Bowlers or didn't want all pros. I said, I want all pros. I don't want Pro Bowlers. You can still restructure some contracts that are there to create some additional money, but it can be done. It's about, are you willing to sacrifice it? Oh, how are you going to replace a tight end? If I can't find a tight end that can give me 400 yards worth of production,
come on.
That's not fair to Cole. Cole kind of got screwed over. Let's say
I'll give him 600-700.
I give him 6. Let's say 600 yards worth of production in this draft where there's a bunch of good tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it is one of those positions that I think gives you the opportunity. Or, right, like maybe you hold on to Cole and you don't go after Dahlman. Everybody wants to say, go after Dahlman, go after Dahlman, go after Dahlman. Maybe now with 2 veteran guards in place, you invest everywhere else, and where you go is long-term with a young center in the draft. You can do that as well.
Where he's able. Oh, yeah.
And I would feel a lot more comfortable in that situation.
So many opportunities, so many different directions we can.
Like there are different directions that you can go, and so I think that this is not a end of the world scenario. But if I need to create money, I can create money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think that's the part where it's like it's not the end of the world if the Chicago Bears don't keep a Cole Kmet in place to invest in the other side of the trenches. Shout out to Louis DePhillips.
Louis.
I haven't met a Louis in a long time. Somebody that's willing to go by Louis. You know what I mean? It
I've
feels like actually,
only
my
heard
name
of
is
Louis
Louis.
on like TV. I haven't heard of a real name Louis.
I need a few good Louis to kick it around. Just be like, hey, what's going on? What we got going on?
Louis.
Hey, you see? It's a great name to just, hey, what hey, Louis? Let me get a beer, Louis. Hey, man. I said, GM, good morning. They can restructure a few deals, right? Also, pick swap idea. Third seems like if true should be done already. Good content, guys. First live for me. Appreciate you, Louis.
Oh, man. Shout out you.
Listen, we did some pick swap ideas yesterday. We did a pick swap in the front. I still like the scenario we did. Because even then financially, that's the part that we did talk about a little bit. If you trade back out of the 10th pick, still get a good player, get 17 and get 81 and Trey Hendrickson, you go from paying a player, I think 10 makes, I want to say it's like $15 million.
You mean over
draft
the year, what, 4 years?
Yes, it's 15 per.
15
how much
per.
does 10th pick in NFL draft?
I didn't think they made that much. $15 million per year?
Yeah, I may be tweaking. It might have been 15 overall. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, I think 4 over 15.
You shut your mouth.
4 years.
4 over 15. There we go. That's a deal for me.
4 million a year, I think.
I'm trying to see. Okay, here we go. So the 10th overall pick makes 11 million. So I wasn't that far off.
Oh, well, all right.
Makes 11 million, right?
I think we said, what did we say yesterday? I forgot what Joe said. I think he said 9, or he might be right in that ballpark.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Rookie scales. That's what I'm looking for. Shout out Spotrac. Should have went to Spotrac in the beginning. Oh, so it's 23 million total for the 10th overall pick. 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million for each year, right?
Almost 6. All right.
For the 18th overall pick or 17th overall pick, it's 17 million.
You dang right.
3 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million.
I like that.
More savings.
See, then you get a running back. There you go.
Yeah, you stop yourself.
There's your running back money right there.
Omar, although he is in that nice running back range financially.
Right, that's
$3 million, but he got to be amazing day one. He's got to be amazing day one. That's kind of my ceiling.
He will be, all right.
If he's amazing day one, I'm good.
Don't you put that pressure on him.
That's my ceiling price wise. You know what I mean? That's the
most he'll make here. Just juking people out of their shoes.
That's the most he'll make here with the Chicago Bears.
Whatever.
God. What I do love about it though is that there are options to build this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are options for the Bears where it doesn't have to be you cut Cole Kmet. You could, and everybody's all in on Drew Dahlman. What if they love a center in the draft? Right? What if they look at Jake Majors and they're like, we can get this dude late.
Yeah, that's a forgotten name. There we go.
We can get this dude in like the 4th, 5th round. I don't know what's happened to Jake Majors' stock. I mean, you want to talk about falling out of the sky.
But let him fall. It'll be a damn
what if they like what they see from Gray Zabel at center? What if they like what they see? Like there are some interesting names, I think. In I'll give you one. Hold on. As much as we talk about Omarion Hampton.
What do you got? You got a running back name? Look at you.
No, I don't have a running back name.
Dang it. I thought that was a transition to a running back. All right.
Why would I have a running back name?
You fooled me. You said Omarion Hampton. I got a little tingly.
Now, first off, name aside.
Oh boy. We got the name of the draft this time.
No, because you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at the name, right? But when you watch some Omarion Hampton tape, on that right side, there's always a young man who is absolutely springing Omarion Hampton open every single time. He's got some good feet.
Jaquise Williams.
He's extremely undersized. Might I interest you in a Willie Lampkin?
Oh, Willie Lampkin.
Willie Lampkin. Okay. Now he would have to play center, but bro, when I tell you, he is one of the best offensive linemen in the draft, and because of his stature, he will probably go, yeah, this is a dark horse. This is a dark horse right here, boys.
And Willie Lampkin might be
He
a
would
dark horse.
probably
I
go
definitely didn't know who that is.
late in the 5th or 6th round. I don't even know. Do we have a 6th rounder still? We can get a 6th rounder. We can figure it out.
Yeah, we can move up.
We can find 6 rounders.
Willie Lampkin. All right.
Willie
I do like the
Lampkin,
name.
5'11". They list him at 290 pounds. At the Senior Bowl, he came in at 276. You gotta add weight to him.
So to say, what kind of
when I tell
is he on?
It's one of those things, bro. It doesn't make sense. He's one of those players that don't make sense. And you just like, how's he doing it? Oh, okay. Well, he just killed that guy.
So you're saying that he's Coleman Shelton, but he's actually a dominant Coleman Shelton.
JC, he's you.
Oh, then he'll dominate.
JC, he's you. Like he's literally.
He just needs a few more steak and shrimp combinations, and
JC,
then we'll get him up to
5'11".
I'm 6 feet. All right, you give me my extra foot.
Okay. He's 5'11". 200 and they're listing him 290, bro. I'm telling you, he's probably like
that probably is me. Yeah,
he might
probably
be 280.
He is me.
Maybe he had a slim day. He might be 280.
A slim day.
But bro, if you can find a way to get him in as a dark horse player and add a little weight to him, bro, it's every time you watch him, bro. And I mean, he's shockingly small versus NFL size players.
Steve-O said he's a sophomore in high school. You better hope you're right about your assessment, because if that man gets knocked back in the first play, he's like, all right, we just. Well,
I said take him in. I said take him in the 5th or 6th round. I ain't say take him 3rd overall. Like, you know what I mean, like let's relax. But bro, no, it's. I'm telling y'all, he's the right guard. Go watch him, and it is hilariously funny how he moves people off their spot.
Oh, Eric's got the measurables right there.
It's surprising when you look down and go, why is he?
How's he doing that? Huh?
Oh my God.
Hey, one thing you can't teach is desire and passion. I mean, maybe he's just like, ain't nobody moved me. Maybe he was bullied in school. He's like, I'm not taking this no more. You know, you never know what a man's psyche is.
And got a heck of an anchor. Look at the anchor on this guy.
He's backloaded again.
Look at the anchor on this guy.
Is that what we're saying?
You got dang right. Shout out Chuck for the super chat. Said no running back. Give me Nolan at 17 if we trade back. Bro.
I ain't mad at Walter Nolan.
All I'm saying is go watch the tape. When you watch Omarion Hampton highlights. Hey, when you watch Omarion Hampton highlights, go watch who's opening that hole up.
Oh boy.
Take that for what you will.
Oh boy. Wow. Oh my. What a day. That's insane. I mean, hey, again, this is the reason why we say there's so many different ways we can go about doing this thing. I love the opportunity. I love that there's just the different names that just come out of nowhere. That is definitely going to be a name that Willie Lampkin. I love Lampkin. Yeah, it's not as good as Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now. There's a part of me that's like, if you could figure out how to turn, he can't play guard at the NFL level, but if you could figure out how to turn him into a late round center, dog, you might have something there, bro.
Just get a little bit meatier, I think, just for safety purposes. But yeah, no, I'm cool.
He's coming to Chicago. We'll get some steaks in him. Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I don't. You know what? To finish the show, just because you need to burn a little bit of your Lampkin over there. We are over 100 in the chat. Over 200 in the chat. Over 300 in the chat. Over 500 in the chat. Over 500 in the chat. Good morning. Y'all have a great morning, man. Y'all stay safe out there today. Don't do nothing crazy. Watch out for for Willie Lampkins coming around the corner. And
no Lampkin.
Watch out for Lampkins coming around the corner, because they'll take you out. Let me tell you. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, is your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there in Chicago. Bed down. One love.
Everybody's got a Lampkin joke in the chat now. Willie, turn out the lamp.
Turn out the
Really, Eric?
Willie Lampkin sound like a 1920s black and white film.
Oh my!
Steve said, "I'm bigger than this mug."